And
Roger Dodger, welcome to the CouncilCast. This is
and
episode.
the pancakes are on the griddle.
This is episode 101, being recorded on December 3rd, 2019. The council is now in session, and as with every week, we'll make arbitrary decisions about topics on science, technology, and random shit with little background and next to no expertise. All CouncilCast decisions are final and have no bearing on anything whatsoever.
Yet.
At this point in time in the known universe. Maybe tomorrow. Check again next week. If you watch religiously, you'll know that we clearly know what we're talking about.
Clearly.
Well, we want to start off with the fact that there's no way Walt Disney has been frozen because they just put the first patient into suspended animation for the first time ever.
Really?
Was there a question around Walt Disney? I don't understand your comment.
So is this animation supposed to be like comedic or like romantic comedy or
Suspended.
They had him suspended until there was animation to suspend him?
Yes. They finally immortalized him in animation.
I don't get it.
So there's apparently a theory that Walt Disney is frozen and he's going to come back to life at some point in time. And so I'm saying that there's no way that he could be because they're now saying this is the first time it's ever happened.
Oh, they legitimately did the science fiction, like, let's put you to sleep for the journey type thing?
Yep. Yeah.
For how long?
They have it's officially called the Emergency Preservation and Resuscitation, EPR. And
I assume they cool you the fuck down.
Yes, the patient is cooled rapidly by replacing their blood with ice-cold saline. The heart stops beating. Brain activity completely stops. All normal body temperatures, cells needed are cold and slowed down until they stop. So
what do they cool you to? Like, are we talking like 60s?
I'm gonna say. Well, they say ice cold, so I'm gonna guess.
Oh, they like get you. Like, do they freeze you?
Well, that's what it kind of sounds like because they said that the cold temperature slows or stops the chemical reaction in cells, which need less oxygen. So I'm guessing you're probably pretty close to like 30 to 40 degrees.
So how long did they do this to somebody for?
2 hours.
They did it to somebody for 2 hours?
Yep.
Like, was it an emergency scenario, or were they just like, Frank, hop on up?
It sounds like it was an emergency scenario. They said,
did it work?
They said, yeah. The surgical team had 2 hours to work on the patient's injuries before they're warmed up and their heart is restarted.
Huh.
Interesting.
So they said they've put a limit on the time frame for at 2 hours, but they're like, we're not exactly sure if that's like an actual limit or not.
So the question, like, yeah, like, what are the limiting factors?
I don't think they really know yet.
Right, because if you've got it to the point where all the processes have basically stopped, like, what's to stop it from going relatively indefinitely?
I don't know. It's a good question. I mean, and I don't think they really know. I think they're just like...
I'm curious, but they said that all brain activity stops too? Where does it say that? How would that be? I'm curious, but they said that. I mean, I guess, like, technically isn't, like... I mean, what we know about the brain up till now, like, I'm not a neuroscientist, but isn't it, like, theorized or proven or, like, shown that like actual pathways form to, like, help us do memories and shit? So if the physical pathways still exist, like actual pathways form, like, theoretically they just need all that electricity applied again, right? Like,
In theory, yeah, why not?
It's not like I mean this is all like uncharted territory
applied
in
again,
some
right?
regard.
Like,
Like I mean, or do we
theory,
think
yeah,
that
why
like
not?
once the brain
Random
is
shit
off, it's like
with
Mad Max to get it started again? You have to know the right sequence in order to do things in, or like when they're trying to squeeze all the power out of Apollo 13, and it's like we got to figure out what order to do it in so that we don't blow the amps.
I would presume it would be.
Like, 'cause if it's all physical neuron based, like just fucking apply power, go again. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I think they're talking. I don't know if I'm going to bet that one of the limits is they talk about oxygen here, and so I'm going to guess that they probably slowed just the cells down to the point where they can just live a lot longer on the amount of oxygen they have.
sure.
So maybe as long as you continually like pump oxygen into the person, it might
What
be
is
okay.
stopping them from having the person hooked up to something that can effectively transfer oxygen at the temperatures that blood would not be able to?
That's what I'm thinking. And I think that would probably be the only limit there.
Like, because this thing says that the cold temperature
5
slows or
minutes.
stops the chemical reaction associated with
Well, they say 5
Oh
minutes.
shit! Okay, so here this other article says that they cool them to 10 to 15 degrees C,
dang.
and they do say that the activity almost completely stops.
Oh, that's only 50 Fahrenheit.
yeah.
Huh?
See, it's not as cold as you would think.
No.
So they're not actually.
So
they're just
yeah,
hibernating them. They're not actually
at
killing
that
them.
temperature, you would be more worried about like what can happen to the bot because it's not frozen and like shoved into a freezer, right? So it's not completely like
Yeah, there's no
just-
tissue damage.
right. So like what? But can't like if you did it indefinitely, like would that be an issue? Like
They're
what?
probably
Like
looking for volunteers to try that and see what
yeah,
happens.
I'm very curious what the limiting factors are then. Like, it's just because all the stuff doesn't completely stop, so that it will eventually use up the oxygen.
How much do you think they would pay for a medical study? I've got student
Yeah,
loan
like-
debt to wipe
Yeah,
out.
like, can you like show up and be like, hey, you can do this free thing to me for like 3 weeks if you pay me like $1 million.
There you go.
Done.
They do say they're not trying to send people to Saturn yet, but
Well,
I think
yet
that's just the next step.
this is pretty neat. This gets me closer to my dream of put me to sleep and wake me up when the Wii comes out. No? South Park joke? Okay, fine.
The only South Park person on this call besides you guys would be the guy on the phone.
Yeah.
You know,
Sorry.
I give it a thumbs up. I think it's a neat application, and I'm interested to see what happens.
Thumbs up for sure. There's an episode of South Park where Cartman wants to freeze himself because the Nintendo Wii comes out in a week and he doesn't want to wait that long. So he goes up on like the mountain to freeze himself and gets like something happens. He gets stuck up there, or like an avalanche happens, I think. And Butters is the only one that knows where he was, and they can't find him. So then like he gets woken up and he's like, "Is the Nintendo Wii out?" And it's like a really long time in the future, and they have to go to a museum to find him a Nintendo Wii.
Oh my god,
It's such a good episode.
that's awesome.
Oh,
That's happening.
welcome back, Logan.
Thanks.
All right. Well, you know, if you wanted to go to space, you might have a problem if you're trying to get through Elon Musk's Starlink satellites, which apparently are causing headaches for astronomers.
Not this Musk guy again.
Wait, the number of satellites he's putting up are already causing problems?
Yeah, apparently. So there's like 60 or so already up there, and the astronomers at a Chilean observatory apparently had to wait for the 60 satellites to drift by.
That's hilarious.
Dang. How long did
Was
that take?
Those aren't all Elons, are they?
Oh yeah.
Starlink
It took
satellites.
5 minutes.
Oh, so, like
Shut up.
an inconvenience.
Nothing.
Yeah, I got my
Yeah.
satellite. Do you want to fight about it?
Rudely interrupted.
I mean, I
love it.
get their complaint. Let's just, I mean, launch a bunch of observatories just further out in orbit than the fucking Starlink satellites are.
I mean, it's kind of a concern, but I'm not sure how big of a deal it really is.
I don't know. 5 minutes is a long time.
I mean, I could wonder if you had like 1,000 up there, would it just be like infinite forever? They do have a cool picture here of it showing where the satellites flew by.
Yeah,
Or is that all those little
there's
freaks?
there's some people that are definitely not happy about it. I mean, I guess it would stand to reason that the astronomers are going to be a little pissed off. But
I wonder
Yeah,
how
but
often
what-
this
what-
happens.
I feel
Yeah,
like
that's
this is a
another
little silly.
question. Like if it happens like every like just interval that doesn't fucking matter, who cares? I mean, I know that attitude results in us having a Dyson sphere of shit around our planet.
I mean,
I don't know. Say something, Brian.
No, me.
Oh, no, we can hear you.
Oh, okay.
For some reason, I thought Big Red 69 was Brian. Which is
That makes the most sense.
way funnier.
That makes the most sense.
Well, so apparently Musk has approval to launch up to 12,000 satellites, so
Yeah,
it
I mean,
might
that's
be a
gonna be
bigger deal. This is just 60.
Really? 12,000?
And he asked permission to launch an additional 30,000 on top of that.
Dang.
The orbit's gonna look like the intro to Wall-E,
Pretty much.
like flying through a pile of space junk just to get to Earth.
I mean, maybe this would be a case where they're going to have to just go and launch more space satellites or space telescopes. I mean,
Yeah.
Mm.
they're just going to have to kind of live with it.
I mean, so like, I feel like it is relevant to like worry about, you know, we pump 60,000 of these things, like what's it going to do to ground-based astronomy? But at the same time, like, do we not? Yeah, I don't know. Do you not do it because we can't figure out a different way?
I don't know.
I don't
Well,
know. It
if
seems like
you-
a lot. I mean, that seems. I don't. Why do they need 30,000 satellites someday? I mean, what's the purpose of so many satellites?
Global coverage of internet connectivity.
Yeah, so I think the biggest concern is that if you restrict the amount of research that can be done from Earth's surface,
I mean
like
that
clouding
yeah, that's
the-
an issue, right? Like, I mean, you can argue that it makes the barrier to entry really, really fucking high.
right, and it also increases the amount of upfront cost for any additional space exploration.
Yep. Which, I mean, it shouldn't be tossed aside.
So, but with the rate of inflation, that's like buying a Big Mac here in 20 years or something stupid, right?
Is most of our astronomical like discoveries, are those happening by ground-based installations, or are they happening via things that are not on the ground?
I don't know, Blaine, maybe you know more, but from my understanding, it's like we figure out enough from the ground to be able
Yeah.
to fund research to go up.
Yeah, I think most of it is actually happening on the ground, and then they're like, hey, there's this one very specific thing we need to do in space, and then they launch a space satellite. But most of it happens on the ground yet.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I give it a thumbs down. Why
I
not?
don't know.
I mean, up for ticking off some random researchers out in the middle of nowhere, but thumbs down for, actually blocking reasonable research time. Like,
I'm
I
gonna
mean,
say thumbs down. I don't know. It just seems crazy that
in,
5 minutes. It takes 5 minutes for that many satellites to go by. There's just.
are they
I
sure
mean,
they
I get the
counted
whole
60
global thing. I
satellites?
don't know. Thumbs down.
Because what if there was an alien
I don't even
ship with
understand
those
what we're
satellites
talking
just
about. I'm gonna
floating
say
along the
thumbs
line?
down.
So Elon Musk's Musk isn't the only thing giving people headaches?
Ouch. That's bad.
Mm.
But you know what? It maybe gives you a headache is if you have a Twitter account that gets deleted.
Oh, man. Yeah,
What
I
What's
didn't
happened
even
to
happening?
reopen mine.
So
That'd be
apparently,
hilarious. Will they do that to Trump? That would be hilarious.
I don't think Trump's Twitter account is inactive, though, is the problem.
Oh, they should just delete it for the fun of it.
So apparently, everybody who has Twitter, if you are not using your Twitter account, if it's an inactive account, Twitter is going to start deleting your account starting
Well,
December 11th.
there goes our CouncilCast account.
Oh God, you're right.
I know this said there's a line in here that says, wait, where did I see this? Oh, the tagline is "This could wipe out accounts for the deceased."
Yes.
I feel like they should do something like Facebook does, where you can turn it into a memorialized page.
Here's my
Yeah.
reaction.
So, yeah. So what they're doing is any accounts that have not signed in for at least 6 months, they'll begin purging those accounts starting on December 11th.
6 months?
Yep.
Not even a year?
Nope.
6 months is pretty aggressive.
Yeah. It's- like I could forget something very easily for 6 months. So, but apparently, like you said, they are. They would certainly get rid of accounts for people who are deceased, people in extended hospital stays, and other things like that. And so they're apparently talking
People
about.
that leave the country for more than 6 months at a time and go live in the middle of nowhere to do something.
Yep, your account's gone.
Because Logan's giving us reactions on post-its. That's pretty great. Or post-it like objects. I guess I can't say for sure unless he were to tell me that they're post-it notes.
I am a 4-dimensional being. This is a 2-dimensional object held in 3-dimensional space. It is actually a cube, sir.
Oh. Draw me a tesseract.
That's hilarious.
But I think that Twitter's gotten a little bloated lately, so I'm okay with them closing accounts. But I think that maybe thumbs up to that. But maybe they should not be
I mean,
at least
who
a
is
year.
honestly on Twitter besides our president right now?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with them cleaning house, but 6 months seems a little strong.
Our office throws out like 50 posts a day on Twitter to see what picks up any traction. And then they take that kind of content to put on other sites that have traction. I'm like, Twitter's the trial page for my office. Like, they don't even care what response they get because they know nobody's on Twitter. So they just put a bunch of crap up. Like,
At the bottom of this, it says Twitter told Engadget it's considering ways to memorialize accounts of the deceased, though it didn't explain how that might work.
They'll get a plaque in Twitter's headquarters.
That update was at 7:17 p.m. Eastern.
A star on the wall.
If you want to go see your loved ones' posts, they have them immortalized on a giant brass plaque in the entryway of Twitter's headquarters.
On a scroll sign.
Yeah. They actually just have all the tweets on one of those LED scrolling signs. They'll mail it to you.
okay, so this is bad, but hey, I tried.
Us?
That's not
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
I'll give it to you.
I like that you have these analog reactions now.
I don't know. I think I'm just going to say thumbs down for Twitter. Just for Twitter.
I don't know. I think
It works both ways.
Thumbs down for 6 months. Yeah, you only need one.
There you go.
Everybody gets one.
All right. Well, everybody who might want one is a Tesla Cybertruck. Matt's tired of this. Have you not explored all the options yet?
So, I was hoping that the style would grow on me. It hasn't.
It looks like a moon vehicle.
I will say that like I am extremely enthusiastic about the price and the specs and the functionality that the design affords, but my eyes are are having trouble liking it.
Just remember, it's like the cube. You only have to look at it from the inside.
It's fine. I've seen people say that they actually like the design of it, and I'm not knocking them for liking it. Like, but they in turn can't expect other people to, just be like, "Oh, it's beautiful."
Because if I owned some kind of scientific factory out in the middle of nowhere, I would require that those were the only vehicles used.
Yeah. If I felt like I needed this enough to not care about what it looks like at this point, I am not in need of it so much functionally that I can overlook what it looks like. But I could, like, if I were somebody that needed to haul stuff pretty frequently, like, I totally would get just being able to overlook how it looks. If you weren't a fan of it, I know people are jumping at it if they like like what it looks like, because I mean the price for the range, like I almost want to own it just because you can get a 500+ mile one. That's ridiculous. Yeah. Like for the price that I paid for my Model 3, it goes 310 miles.
Yeah.
Wait, so what's the load capacity with the 500-mile range?
It's 14,000 pounds.
Really?
It
is.
That's the towing, not the bed. But that's for the same amount that I paid for my Performance Model 3, which goes, I don't know what it does 0 to 60 now in, but stated when purchased, I think it was like 3.2.
Huh.
This thing, for the same money, can haul shit, is damn near indestructible, aside from the windows. Goes 0 to 60 in 2.9.
Yeah.
And gets 500+ miles of range, assuming all the specs that they stated stay true. And if I remember correctly, the specs that they've stated have, like, their timelines are almost always fucking wrong, but the specs they state, they nearly always meet.
I have a question. So I've got a staff member that, if you have an SUV, do you call it an SUV? Like if you were saying, would you call it by the name of the vehicle, or would you say it's an SUV?
Can you like give me like an example of usage?
A Yukon.
But like,
so
I mean, like,
yes.
How would this be used in conversation?
So the staff member says, "My truck." The truck, referring to their Yukon SUV as a truck.
I'd probably call it a truck.
Nah.
So I'm just saying that when I was in college, they used to make lasagna that looked like. Oh my god! No, hear me out now. They gave it the wrong name. The lasagna looked like stroganoff or something, and the stroganoff looked like lasagna. I said, if you guys just switch the names, we'll be a whole lot happier. So if we can just get them to remarket this thing, and not as a pickup truck, but as a sport utility vehicle, then everyone's going to be fine with it.
I don't think the name of it's the issue. I mean, it might be some of it, because some people expect a pickup to look a specific way.
Exactly.
And the Rivian version of the electric truck looks much more like a traditional pickup.
If you say small SUV, people aren't going to care. They're going to, oh, that's cool.
It's still, no matter what it is, it still looks like it drove straight out of a science fiction film, and some people love that. But decent sizes of them don't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I say
I'm a
just leave
I'm a
it.
science fiction guy, and I have trouble swallowing this design.
Yeah, it's just not something that I expect a lot of people to gravitate towards,
But like
wanting to drive this around daily.
the specs are ridiculous.
Oh yeah,
Like
absolutely.
so good. But like I put so like maybe they're gonna get, and they have a lot of pre-orders, but again it's like $100 to pre-order, like big fucking whoop-de-doo. That's not to diminish how impressive it is that they're up to like 200 or whatever they're at now, 250 maybe. Um, so
It's
pretty
something
clearly
huge.
there is some to a lot of interest in the vehicle. How much of those will convert though remains to be seen. Um, and maybe they're gonna grab a bunch of people that wouldn't normally be pickup owners because the price is so good and like it essentially behaves like the pickup they would need. But like people like, and we've talked about this before, maybe this is the minority of people, but like I know from rural Midwest, right? All the truck people I know, and I know this is overdone in relation to this topic already, like quote unquote truck people. They've been talking about it for like the past 4 weeks since this, or however long it's been since this thing was announced. But the truck people I know, it's like, my grandpappy drove a Ford, my dad drives a Ford, and I drive a Ford, and my son's gonna drive a Ford. Like maybe that's the minority of people, but I can tell you right
No.
now, they're not gonna win those people over with this design. That guy's gonna drive to the job site and get laughed out of it by all the people that think the truck is quote unquote gay. Like that's just what's
Yes.
gonna
Yeah,
happen
But-
to
that
those
will.
groups of people.
But Matt, in the pictures here, they don't even show you the back as a bed of a pickup.
Oh, it does open as a bed of a pickup.
Yeah, it opens and it's slick. It's nice.
Yeah.
I'm
If
just
it
saying,
opens
like,
as the bed of the
you-
pickup, then it's a sports utility vehicle. If they just remarket it, it's fine.
I'm not saying they should try to win that crowd. Maybe it's not their target market and shouldn't be. But
They should make it customizable.
I
So you can
believe
put,
they're not winning the majority of that crowd. And one of the things that somebody pointed out to me a couple days ago that I thought really, really hit nice chord was they put like the 110 and the 220 outlets on it to like position it as like this thing that you can use in the field, right? Like use it as your work truck. You know what every goddamn work truck that I've ever seen does, especially for like farmers and shit? Like it's either a flatbed or they can put some other sort of bed on the back to be like their storage, like go like like their mobile repair vehicle thing.
Yeah.
Like this doesn't look like it can do that.
But they have a tent that can go in the back. Didn't you see that one?
not adaptable.
So like I don't know if that's gonna hit that demographic as hard as they
I also
Want
think
it to.
that having a 110 or 220 outlet in my truck that's electric is a great idea for when I want to run the lights all day long, powered off of this thing, and then want to drive home and I can't because my battery's dead.
I mean, would that actually be the case?
I have no idea. Depends on how long you run the lights, right?
And how big the lights are. I think this thing has the potential to do great with one, Tesla fanboys, and two, people who are not the quote unquote truck guys, but are like the suburban people that can just like get some utility out of it.
Yeah. This
Yeah,
is not going to definitely go for truck guys. I mean, I cannot
was-
see a guy getting this and driving it out in the field.
I feel like you're gonna have the one-off situations where the truck guy is like, "Fuck it, this thing's awesome," and fuck what everybody else says about me driving this thing. And you know what? More power to him. That's great. I think that's fantastic. I don't think you're gonna get that as the norm.
No.
No.
So I would love to know if that's even the demographic that they were trying to go after, like whether they think they can truly get like are they sitting in a room thinking that they can pop off half of the Ford F-150 sales with this? Like that's what I would love to hear an honest answer to that question.
I say thumbs up for the sports utility vehicle of the future.
I say thumbs up.
I like it.
I like
Thumbs
it.
up.
I think
like
it'll be
it.
interesting.
I think it takes balls to bring something like this to market. It absolutely takes.
Yeah, I think if I was going to buy a truck in the city, I would buy an electric truck.
Yeah, to be honest, I
would
love the idea of an electric truck because you don't have to deal with the gas mileage that you normally do in a gas truck.
Well, I mean, pulling something is still going to absolutely kill your range.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean,
But like, if you're driving it as a daily driver, like I know a lot of people who have trucks and they're like, "Nah, I just bought a car so I can drive my car around because it costs too much to drive my truck."
So this thing, and again, maybe this isn't the target audience, but I was describing it to my dad and listed off the stats, and he's like, "Yeah, that sounds amazing, except that's not enough towing capacity." And I was like, "Jesus, how much do you need?" He said that the double anhydrous tanks that they pull, just the liquid in the tanks is 14,000 pounds.
What do they tow those with today?
Huge ass fucking Dodge diesel pickup.
Ah.
Like you
Six
can,
wheel
and like, okay, so you can pull, like, just because that's what it's rated at doesn't mean you can't do it.
Well,
Whether you should though.
I mean, you did see like the Toyota when they pulled the space shuttle, right?
Yeah, this thing, this
totally
fucking truck right here, this Tesla can probably go out there and pull a fucking fleet of a battalion of tanks. Like it has so much torque, but it's not like it's just not. They're not gonna rate it for that, right? So like, yeah, this thing would probably pull those anhydrous tanks just fine. But I think the towing capacity, I don't remember on the pickup he has. I think it's around like 16, 17 or 18,000 pounds or something like that.
That's pushing it right up to the brink, isn't it?
I mean, if you get up to how much can and that's a 2,500, I think. What's the 3/4 tons?
This is 3,500 ones.
Yeah, if you've got like the Dodge 3500s, you get into like the 30,000 pounds of towing capacity.
Yeah.
But he's not pulling anhydrous tanks with that. He's got a 2,500, which I think the max towing capacity. Well, it's definitely not 5,000 pounds.
3/4 tons, around 18, and the 3,500s are about 31.
Yeah.
31.
And it depends on what hitches you have and all that stuff too, right? He was telling me, was it? Man, I don't want to mess up the numbers for all our viewers. But I think
We'll fix it and post up.
Yeah, just the hitch he uses when he pulls that shit can have like. It's either like 4,000 or 7,000 pounds of weight just on the hitch. That's not how much you're pulling. That's how much weight can be resting on the hitch. Like how much weight is pushing down on that.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I don't know. I know that I showed it to him and he's like pretty open-minded about this kind of shit. And the price is good because to replace his Ram, like if you were to replace the big ass farm pickup, I mean, you're talking over the max price of one of these anyway. You're talking
easily.
like, I mean, it's like 75, 80 grand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's just for the. I mean, that's really just for the truck. It's like not any of the fancy stuff.
Yeah, pickup trucks are crazy expensive. I agree with you, Matt. That's a pretty good price.
Yeah. Oh, the price is phenomenal. The fact that you can, what was it? The maxed out version of this Blaine was 69.9.
Something like that.
So if they keep those numbers in line, like, yeah, maybe it will sell like fucking hotcakes.
Yeah,
like I mean the specs are good. Like the specs are almost so good that I'm like, maybe I put a deposit down on one, but nah, we'll see.
Maybe I need a truck.
I'm interested to see it come out and see how many people actually drive it on the road. I still don't see a lot of Teslas, whether they're Model S's or 3s today, but
I see quite a few in just Des Moines. You don't see them up there?
No, there's like I see like 3 of them. I know there's one in town, and I know there's one in town at my work, and
I think
there's one
I wonder
person
if
down
you're
the
just
street
not
with an axe.
seeing them, because I definitely see them more frequently than it sounds like you're describing. You see them.
I also don't live near a major metropolitan city, so
Right. You're not. Well, yeah, I have to drive through Des Moines every day, and
I
you're
drive
not
through
having to, you're not
cornfields.
right, you're not having to drive into the cities, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
I drove a Tesla
So
truck.
for where you're driving, saying maybe 3 or 4 ain't too bad.
No, probably not.
That's pretty good penetration into that market right now.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised there's that many. So, anyway,
I
What-
drove a Tesla truck.
what
My
if
son will drive a Tesla truck?
maybe
Logan's got it.
maybe Logan can raise some cows instead and haul them around with his Cybertruck, but give them VR headsets to produce better milk.
See,
Oh
now
my
we're
God.
talking about the future here.
No, just weird shit, Logan.
So
Hey, they gained weight, didn't they?
I like how this is, of course, in Moscow, in Russia, where they apparently strapped modified VR headsets, which this picture just looks ridiculous, to improve the cow's mood, and of course,
Excuse me, what?
to improve the cow's mood.
Mood.
Their mood.
Oh,
G on the end of that.
oh man, I'm really happy with that.
But apparently they played some videos for the cows that simulated summer fields with colors tuned for the animals' eyes, which apparently allowed them to produce better milk? I don't know.
Yeah, I saw something else about this the other day, and they were talking about the fact that animals are starting to gain weight too, which is a good thing, right? Your dairy cows putting on weight means that they'll produce
Well, that's
fattier
because they're just standing there. They're not walking around or nothing
or whole
because you
milk.
can't see where they're going.
Yeah, that's probably true. You know, instead of being out in an actual field and moving around, they're just sitting in their pens doing nothing and enjoying a field virtually. So they're getting fatter, just like kids are today.
I
That's
mean,
exactly the same thing.
whether they're happier or not, they're putting on weight and producing more milk. So who cares?
I'm just imagining kids at home putting on more weight and producing more milk.
Producing more milk, yeah.
I was talking about the kids. Are we still talking about the cows?
Gross.
Wow.
So I mean, I
No,
guess
it's-
that's kind of a cool thing. What's going to
It's-
happen next?
Yeah, it's an interesting thought because this is like not a far stretch from giving yourself a virtual work environment or augmented work environment, one or the other.
So, you know, I believe back in, I don't know when I made the suggestion that we had virtual first class.
This
Yeah.
is right. Man, I wonder if the cows could fly virtual first class.
But, you know, you put on these VR things and now you can do anything. You can make cows mad.
I'm not gonna lie, I just flipped to the tab and this photo is amazing.
It's the best.
Uh,
It's the best.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think that this is just some guy who's like, I like cows. I like VR headsets.
I'm sorry. I think
That's
you
a big
mean-
ass
I
VR
think you mean
headset.
these cows are unhappy, and so here in over Mother Russia, we need to make cows happy. Give
What
them better
accents are you
mood.
guys doing?
Muddled Russian.
Texas.
Dope.
Dope.
Yeah, this is I'm just gonna thumbs down because it's kind of ridiculous.
You know, I'm going to give it a thumbs up
thumbs
because
up.
I think maybe that because Russia is so dark during the winter that they have to keep their cows happy somehow.
I say thumbs up for VR.
Thumbs down because this is a pretty crummy idea, but thumbs up for a great photo op. Like, this is awesome.
Yeah. Where do you get a big ass VR headset like that for something and that's big? A cow's head is big.
I don't know. I think it'd probably fit your head.
They had to make a cow adapter. That's why it's only in Russia.
Only in Mother Russia.
Mm.
All right.
Well, what else did not happen in Russia was that apparently a Delta Airlines lost its inflatable slide
What?
while it was flying from Paris to your airport.
What?
Why is the preview frame for this video an Emirates aircraft?
I have no idea. My video doesn't load, so
Mine isn't loading either.
it's great. It's probably because it's on Fox News.
Yeah.
Did this guy inflate the slide?
So apparently, a Boeing 767 was flying to Boston Logan International Airport when the airport.
Sorry, missed the joke.
Yes, you did. When the pilot apparently heard a loud noise, and after the aircraft landed, they discovered that the right rear evacuation slide was missing.
That's awesome.
And on top of that, it fell in the front yard of a Milton resident who said it apparently damaged several trees.
Well, Delta better pay for it.
If Reddit is any indication, this guy needs to get himself a tree lawyer.
He said no injuries or ground damage were reported to the FAA.
If there's ground damage, don't tell the train people nearby. They might try and claim that property as theirs. Tell you that you gotta pay to have it regraded or something stupid.
I don't understand how it fell out of the airplane.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, I don't know either.
They said that it's one of the over wing slides, which I thought that those came out the doors, like the emergency exits over the wings.
Yeah.
Maybe when you open the door, it activates it, but it's not actually
No.
attached to the door.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's a side plate on the plane. So it's like one of the shielding plates had to have come loose. And wouldn't have been that big, right? Because the thing folds up pretty tight. But one of the shielding plates on the side of the plane had to have come loose, or on the wing, wherever it pops out from. But it's like a car when you hit the airbag, right? Airbag pops out
sure.
from the top of the thing, from the passenger front guard, whatever it is, dashboard. There's the word.
Spit it out.
Pops out over the plate
Stovepipe.
and pushes the plate out of place.
I don't
You
know.
had me at airbag.
I wonder if apparently this guy reported it to the police, but I'm like, why wouldn't you want to keep it? That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, why tell somebody?
Turn it into a giant slip and slide.
Just blow it up in your backyard. Let the kids play on it.
Exactly.
Seriously, I'm wondering. This cop's wondering the same thing. He's looking at that thing, going, "What am I supposed to do with this?"
Yeah, he's like, where's the cord?
All right, dude.
Where's the plane?
He's looking to make it blow up. He's like, "Can I get this thing just to pop so I can leave it here?"
Surprised he didn't just open fire immediately upon sight. It's like Cyril suppressing fire.
It's really. I guess that's really a UFO, an unidentified flying object.
There
Gotta
you go.
shoot it
Shot
down.
me, Cyril.
Stuff falling from the sky.
Cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria.
Yeah, I give this a thumbs down. I think that somebody should have secured the slide, and because they didn't, they should have not turned it in. Finders
I'm giving it a
keepers.
thumbs down for it being reported. Come on, dude.
I'm giving it a thumbs up because I am just now joining the conversation.
Dude, you're making it here just in time.
I
just-
like it.
Just in time.
Yeah.
Is it time for Elon Musk pitches?
Delta?
Yeah, why not? Elon Musk pitches for the week. What
I
do you
just want to
got?
know why the summary image is Emirates. Is Emirates owned by Delta? No, that's not right. Delta doesn't have that much money.
You don't know Delta.
So Silas,
Yes.
those memory cards that I ordered, right?
Yes.
I got them all
Yeah.
and put them in this little holder thing. But I was curious, I went back to Amazon. They're still the same price. Remember how it would only let me order 3?
Yeah.
It would only let me put 3 in the cart. I can order 3 again right now.
What are you waiting for?
I don't know.
You need an arsenal of those things.
Yeah.
Bum, 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 bum,
I don't know what things we're
bum,
talking
Just
about.
I
do it.
think this is funny.
bum, bum, bum,
Right now I've
bum.
got
Sure.
almost 900 gigs.
That's so many
In
gigs.
memory cards?
Yeah.
They make
Why?
1 terabyte micro SD cards.
Yeah, but these guys were like the lowest per gigabyte that I saw.
Yeah.
Between,
they're
I mean,
I have
maybe
a
the maybe they're
512 in my phone.
yeah, the 512 Samsung Evo Select was not as good a deal as getting the 256.
How much is it right now?
The 256 gigabyte
No,
is
the what?
selling
How much is the 512?
64.99
Really?
plus 15% cash back if you use an Amazon Prime card.
Oh, that's a good deal.
The 256 right now is 27.99.
Wow, that's
Oh yeah, I bought 3 of them the other day.
Nice.
that's an insane deal. I think I spent $120 on my 512 because it was like the only one available when I bought it. Literally, I mean, I couldn't find any 512s available in the States when I went to buy it because it was just when the
Oh, really?
Note 10, Note 9 had come out, and there was one option, and it was
Yeah, the SanDisk 1 terabyte is $249.
good grief.
I missed all of CouncilCast. That is fantastic. Look at me go. I'm so good at this.
All right.
Yeah,
Well, why don't we
that's a
do
pretty
the Elon Musk pitch for the week then?
Okay.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Let's see. What do you got then, Silas?
Step up, man.
Man, I got some good stuff for Elon this week. I want him to make. I just want him to make all of my challenge to him. It's not necessarily, a specific item this time. It's just a general blanket challenge that everything that he makes from now on should be shaped like
A penis.
like Tomb Raider's boobs on the truck. Like every item he makes should just be shaped like his new truck.
Interesting.
With those Nintendo 64 boobs.
Like
That makes a lot of sense to me.
Nintendo 64 boobs. All right. Got it.
That's it. That's my whole pitch.
I think I'm going to give it a thumbs up and recommend that he has a custom spray for the Cybertruck that is Lara Croft.
Yes, that's perfect.
It's something else.
All right, who else has a pitch for the week?
I'd like to see him do some VR goggles for people that fly on planes. And no,
Virtual
not
first class.
not virtual first class. This is virtual disaster. So you're on the plane, things go wrong, like the plane's going down, or the plastic slide kicks out of the side, or
A window gets cracked and
window
5
gets
people
cracked,
get
and
sucked
everything
out.
gets sucked out, or there's snakes on the plane. Just any disaster you like, you just collect it, and then you watch it and you live it. And I want him to do that. I think he could do it, and I want him to do it. And I want the goggles to be shaped like that car. Or whatever.
Yes.
Headset shaped like Nintendo 64 boobs. Got it.
Wow. Dang. That's something else, guys.
All right. I think that that Elon Musk is probably, I don't know what airbags look like inside of his Teslas, but I think he should replace them.
Stole my idea.
Not with Nintendo 64 boobs.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Those
But
would have been
replace
rough
them-
and prickly. I would not have wanted that.
With an inflatable raft that's shaped like Nintendo 64 boobs.
First responders show up. Can we help you, sir? No, I'm fine. This is amazing.
I'm in pixelated Lara Croft's boobs.
Inflatable raft shaped like Nintendo 64 boobs. All right.
Good.
All right, what do you got, Logan?
I sent my ideas over to Matt.
What? No, you didn't.
Did any of them get approved?
You never did that.
All right. Jeez, sell me out.
Hmm.
I don't know that I have anything.
Make more Nintendo 64 boobs.
I wouldn't mind.
Playing Nintendo 64 Lara Croft on your Tesla.
That you want him to redesign the Nintendo 64 to look like Nintendo 64 boot.
I was just gonna tell him if he was gonna launch any more satellites into space, at least give us something good to look at, and make his next satellites look like Nintendo 64 boobs.
In the shape of the car.
Shaped
What?
like Nintendo 64 boobs. All right, got it.
Where did this come from?
I like it that no matter what we say, Blaine is just typing whatever the hell he wants. I want him to make spaghetti out of Nintendo 64 boobs. Got it.
Now you know how I run my
man.
meetings at work.
Your team has to love that.
Great idea, Tim. Angular boobs. I like it.
Tim
That's not what I
said
said.
he didn't get any of his work done.
I'm not listening to you, Tim.
Morgan said she didn't get any of her work done.
All right, Matt, you got anything you want to add for a Musk pitch?
Nope.
Nope. Nope.
Apparently, he didn't get any of my ideas.
Man,
I'm gonna give thumbs up to all of these
you
ideas.
missed an opportunity to just say, got it, Nintendo 64 boobs.
True.
A lot cooler if you had.
Elon Musk ain't getting my ideas for free anymore.
Well, this week's CouncilCast brought to you by Elon Musk.
No, it's not.
This week brought to you by Nintendo 64 boobs.
Don't lie.
All right, with that, I'm going to call this council meeting adjourned. We want to thank everybody for listening. We do record this
Dun, dun.
podcast live Tuesday nights on YouTube. And if you liked what you saw and want to check out all of our past episodes, you can go to councilcast.org. You
Now
also-
on Discord.
we now stream from Discord. If you like what you saw, send us a message, I guess, at councilcast@gmail.com or Twitter, if it doesn't get deleted, at RealCouncilCast.
Has anybody checked that email lately?
Yes, I check it every week.
You do? For real?
Well, that's how he.
That's
sends
how I
out the
send out all
thing.
the things.
Oh, so you
Did
see
you
it
get
at
my
least
email
once a
then and you
week.
just ignored it?
Yes, I did.
Wow.
Oh wow!
Wow.
Thanks.
Wow.
All right. Thanks for listening, and goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Wow.
So how does Discord work